You are now listening to The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kahlil on the One Podcast Network. Let's get it.
From NJ to BK in the world is The Box Out here on the One Podcast Network. My name is Kahlil Thomas. Joining me in a few minutes will be Jason Kahlil from Brooklyn, New York. We are back from our vacation. We figure let's take a couple weeks off because this is when our life gets more complicated. Basketball season, NBA, college. So we took a week off. We also wanted to watch the first week of basketball without distraction. Wanted to watch the first week of basketball back on NBC. Amazon Prime, which is actually really, really good. I was really shocked. And the premiere of Inside the NBA on ESPN, which actually worked out very well because they were just allowed to do what they wanted to do. So kudos to them. But we'll get into that a little bit later. A lot to get into. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. And lo and behold, we have a lot to talk about. And it's not even on the court. So if you remember last year, Rozier was subject of some investigations from the NBA regarding possibly sports betting, whether it be on himself or his team or other teams or whatever the case may be. And the NBA kind of, I guess maybe, I don't want to say cleared him, but almost, I guess cleared him. I guess the NBA kind of cleared him up. So he was allowed to go back to playing. He was on leave for a while. So that situation was kind of done. Bruce, what's up? Host of Armchair Wednesday nights here on the Podcast Network. So I think the Terry Rozier situation kind of was done. Then it comes out last week that lo and behold, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, all arrested in connection to a gambling scheme, whatever you want to call it. Rozier, I think the same accusations from before came out again. Jones has assistant coaches giving out information to gamblers about who's playing, who's not playing, blah, 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 blah. And then apparently Chauncey Billups, who's unnamed in the indictment, is co-conspirator number 8 or something like that. His name, he's not named, but the description of who he is, it is Chauncey Billups. I think you kind of put two and two together once you read the indictment. Was that he was selling bettors that, hey, the Blazers are tanking. Here's who's not playing. Put your money on the Blazers, blah, 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 blah. So we now have this issue in the NBA right now where sports betting's an issue, right? We had the Porter issue with Toronto. Now he's currently in jail. And I don't want to say it's an NBA problem because it's a sports problem. The NFL has a huge issue with sports betting right now. I think the NFL might have it worse than the NBA, but I think the NBA is closing that gap, especially with these arrests, these indictments. But I think the overarching thought is you got into bed with the devil. If you're the NBA, if you're the NFL, if you're Major League Baseball, and now the devil's come back to bite you in the ass. That's kind of where it is right now. There's so much money in sports betting. Obviously, it's not legal in all 50 states. There's select states where it is legal. There's select states where you're allowed to do it. You know, Nevada, New Jersey, New York. Insert your state here because I don't know the gambling laws around the country and who can gamble, who can't gamble. I had a friend who was gambling, who lived in New York before it was legal. I would make bets for him. Probably should be saying this on air because I'll probably get in trouble. I'll make bets for him because I'm in Jersey and it was legal, but he was in New York, so it was a whole thing. So there's money to be made in sports betting. The problem became when DraftKings, when Caesars, MGM, I can't remember. I'm going blank on the other ones. It's like 800 betting companies. When they got into bed with the major sports leagues and said, we will give you money to put our commercials on during games, or we will pay you to put the betting odds onto games. And if you notice, and not so much now, because now it's kind of it's so standard now, where before they would put the line up on the game, and here's your line from DraftKings, and the announcers would say nothing. The line would just sit there. The mics would go dead, and the line would stay up there. You see the over, under, the spread, whatever case may be, whatever. It goes off screen, and the announcers come back and start announcing the game like normal. Now it's pretty standard where announcers like, here's your spread from DraftKings. It says here that the Yankees are blah blah blah. So now it's become this thing where it's like, all right, let's mention the spread because everyone cares about it. ESPN has their own betting service now, ESPN Bet, which apparently is doing terribly, but that's not the point. So when you let the fox into the hen house, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get situations where the players are going to be double dipping. And that's what's happening in sports. And it's happening. You got an NBA head coach double dipping, allegedly. We have to say allegedly because, it's an indictment, it's an accusation, nothing's been proven, there's been no trial. So we have to say allegedly this is happening. However, based on what we've seen in the last, let's say, year and a half, 2 years in sports with sports betting, can we just go and say, yeah, this is fucking happening? It's a thing. It is. Terry Rozier, and it came out obviously after the arrest, after the indictment. Terry Rozier had an $8.5 million tax lien. Now, Scary Terry making some bank. He's not making the league minimum in the NBA. He's not that guy. However, $8.5 million tax lien. You allegedly can maybe throw a couple games, miss a couple shots, turn a ball over once or twice here and there. That tax lien can go away pretty fast. You can get that paid off quick if you just, drop a ball. If you shoot an inadvertent 3-point shot that you should be shooting. It's possible. Porter in Toronto would take himself out of games. Literally, there's millions of dollars on the under on everything he did, on all the prop bets. And magically, with all this action going on, he would just take himself out. I'm good. I'm like, all right, man. Cool. You're good. All right. Jason Courtney, what's going on, brother?
Not much. How's everything?
Is it good?
How are your parlays doing?
My over-under is a little sketchy. I don't know. Those Terry Rozier field goal attempts, a little high. Just saying. What are your thoughts on all this? Because we had it with Jonte Porter last year. Now it's huge now. Mm-hmm. What went through your head when you saw this going on last week?
I was like, what are they betting on? How long they've been doing it? And how serious is the league really about it? Because if you're partnering it up with FanDuel, DraftKings, every betting organization on the planet, how could you not think your players or coaches or anybody that works in the office are not doing the same thing? I just didn't think Chauncey and them would be doing it on the scale that they were doing.
Well, I think the Rozier part, I feel like this is, and I think the argument has become the NBA dropped the ball somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't know where. They let Terry keep playing. They investigated him for I want to say a month and a half. He was out. Mm-hmm. Came back with nothing. Now, obviously, the NBA investigative services are
totally different.
Mm-hmm. A little weaker than the FBI's. Let's put it out there. But I guess the question is, who do you blame here? Is it one of those cases where the NBA didn't dig enough? Or did they do the digging that they could do and said, we can't find anything concrete on our end, go play?
I think two things could be true. I think they didn't do enough. I think the league, to an extent, kind of respects the players and the players' union a little too much. Like, they really don't really kind of I mean, we see that with load management and every other thing in between. Like, they don't really push back against the players too much. So this is one of those incidents where they thought when Beasley went down that he was probably the highest level player that they'll probably ever associate something like this with. So I think with Rozier, they looked on the surface level, didn't find anything deep. Obviously, the feds, they're gonna really do some digging, and that's something that's totally different. But I'm more upset that how when they showed a clip of when he actually faked the injury, and it looked so blatant when he not fake injury when he turned over the ball, and it looked so blatant. That's when the NBA really dropped the ball. Like, oh my God, if they would have sent him that clip alone, they should have done some digging.
That reminded me of Blue Chips when Tony, just that whole montage of Tony fucking up and then just watching the video, and the one assistant coach like, oh, he dropped the ball again. Oh, that was a bad shot. And then one guy's like, that's my guy. That's my guy. That's what I thought in my head. I'm like, I'm watching Tony from Blue Chips all over again. So
insane.
I think the Billups thing shocked me the most because you're Chauncey Billups. Like, you really need it that bad? Like, you really hard up that hard for money where you're literally giving away injury reports and saying who's playing, who's not playing. Hey, my team is tanking, so any chance you get, bet against them. That was the shocking part. And now, we talk about players. We're seeing coaches delving into this shit. How bad could this get when you have coaches now in trouble?
I think it could get worse. And I don't know if we're going to hear about other coaches, but I definitely feel like we're going to hear a lot of guilty by association. Like if Chauncey's doing this and he's a player friendly coach, who's to say he didn't play a couple of games with Jason Kidd or anybody else that's still like a player coach in the league. So I think this is the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to get a lot more names, but I think they want to cooperate, and we may not hear those names come out.
So, report today, actually, at ESPN.com, in the wake of the NBA betting scandal, the league and its partner sportsbooks continue to review what types of bets are most vulnerable to manipulation and how much bettors should be allowed to wager on such bets. Sources familiar with discussion. So now we have the NBA going to their draft book partners, the sports book partners, who they shouldn't be in business with anyway. Let's just put it out there. So instead of saying, hey, we're going to wash our hands of, DraftKings and Caesars and all them and say, hey, listen, the partnership was good, but I think we should kind of, X out our business for the time being. They're working together to go, what bets don't work? What bets could you mess around with? Once again, I said before, the fox is in a hen house. That money's coming in, and these leagues, especially NFL, because NFL is on a different level with this. I think NBA is kind of percolating. They don't want to give up that money that they're getting from the Caesars or MGM, from a DraftKings, and now they're working together to fix the problem. When the problem is you shouldn't be involved with these places anyway.
It's like marrying the wrong person, and then you don't want to do marriage counsel, but you kind of want to stay in the house and just like figure things out when you shouldn't have married that person in the first place.
You're still in the house. You're still living together. And it's like, we'll split things and see what happens.
And instead of one in the bedroom, you're both in the living room. Like, what now? So that's what the NBA and these gamblers are right now. Outside of prop bets and parlays, like we just do over and unders and call it a day.
See, but even over unders, you can still mess with those. I feel like over unders, the spread, the prop bets, obviously Jonte Porter. I feel like all that can be manipulated. So at some point, you got to go, well, we just can't have it. We can't mess with you. Like, you're going to do your shit. We're going to do our shit. We're a professional sports league. We cannot have this. Integrity is finally, to the most part, was brought back to the league after Tim Donaghy got messed up and pushed out. That took a while to kind of get that, like, all right, we trust things now, to get that back. And now you're like,
shout out to Tim Donaghy too, because now he's doing all the interviews now. Like, hey, you thought that was a problem?
Yeah, there's a bigger problem here, guys. You see, coaches are betting too. So it's not just little old me.
That little old me.
That Netflix doc too. That might have been their best one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good. No, actually, there was a sports betting one on that one. The Arizona State one. That was pretty good too. So sports betting all over my algorithm on my computer and my phone now. So obviously be more to the story. Every week we'll come back. We'll probably have more details next Thursday when we come back. So
do you think the timing was perfect by the feds, by the way?
Yeah, right when the season starts. Right. Was it opening night or was it the day before? Was it on opening night?
It was on opening night.
It was on opening night. So it was during the day of open. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and I was gonna cut the clip of Stephen A. Smith, what he said, and I refused.
Oh my goodness.
I refuse to listen to anything that man says anymore because I think he's full of shit. This was not like Donald Trump don't give a shit about the NBA. Donald Trump could give a shit. This is an FBI investigation. So I think that thought of like, oh, this is Donald Trump getting revenge on the woke NBA. We got to kill that noise now.
I thought I was actually watching for a second when he said it. I was like, he's got to be out of his bleeping mind. And I know the higher ups probably gave him a little stern talking to, like, hey, save that nonsense for your left wing show that no one's watching.
Left wing? That show's not left wing.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
That damn show. Listen, I don't have Sirius XM. I refuse to get it since they fired me in 2008 for insubordination. But
oh Jesus,
yeah. But when I've heard and watched the clips, I don't know what that show is, but it ain't left wing. He's all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
So he whatever. I'm not.
Then the FBI director came out and told him he's pretty much an idiot.
Which even more so, I'm like, don't you have shit to do, Cash? Don't you have more important things to worry about than what Stephen A. Smith says?
Listen, like, I wouldn't say it's Trump related, but I would say it's no coincidence that this happened at the heels that Diddy only got 40 months per se, 50 months,
and moved to a low security prison today.
Yeah, he's in Jersey. He's in Jersey now.
He's in Jersey. He could buy Pop-Tarts and shit at the jail.
Hey, listen, man. Pop-Tarts what they was giving out in Brooklyn. That's a win.
But no applesauce. Apparently, he really likes applesauce, according to his assistant during the trial. So he missing on the applesauce in the low security prison. I think him and Ghislaine Maxwell probably could just hang out in prison together and just chill and do what they do. Anyway, wrong show for that shit. So we're coming close. Tomorrow is October 31st. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. WNBA CBA expires tomorrow. So we could be looking at a work stoppage in the WNBA. The owners pretty much put on the table a 30-day extension to keep negotiating. No comment from the players yet if they're going to take the extension. They did the last CBA. Their contract expired. They gave it like a 90-day extension. So my assumption is if they're asking for a 30-day extension, that maybe they're close.
Yeah.
But this is something I didn't know, and I think I did a deep dive on this one night. So do you know what – so obviously in pro sports, the revenue split is usually 50-50. All right, 50% of revenue goes to owners, 50 goes to players. Do you know what the revenue split is in WNBA?
I want to say it's 70-30. Play owners, of course. Of course. It's worse than that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. 80-20?
It's a pop. Not 80-20.
It can't be 90-10. It can't be 95-5.
No, it is. Players get 9% of basketball revenue.
No wonder.
But that number is kind of misleading, and here's why. And this is why it's important to kind of deep dive on things. What I didn't know was the percentage of ownership regarding the league.
Okay.
So obviously, NBA owns, you have 30 owners, blah, 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 blah. The way the split goes is 42% of the league is owned by the NBA.
Okay.
The other 42% are owned by the WNBA and its owners. Okay. So we're at 84% now. The other 16%, and I think we talked about this on our show a couple years ago. Remember they got that capital infusion?
Yes.
Years ago? The other 16% went to those investors.
Of course, they got to
put money in. So when we say 9%, yes, that's a real low number. But really, it's 9% of the 42% that the league gets. So we talk about TV deals. We talk about expansion fees. They get expansion fees from Philly, Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, Cleveland, Toronto, Portland.
Portland, there you go.
Right. That's like $1 billion in expansion fees they got for those teams coming into the league.
Right.
Of that billion, the WNBA only gets $200 million because of that split that they have between the NBA and with the other investors. So I think that ultimately is the problem right now. The problem is the players want a bigger piece, but the owners are like, hey, our piece is only has a league. Our piece is only 42% to begin with. So we're not getting all the money anyway. So when we see the media rights deals, when we see expansion fees, all that money is not going into the league. It's unevenly split. So they're getting 42% and the other 58% is going to someplace else.
It's time for that other place else to like cough back a little bit.
Well, the idea is they're saying that maybe they can use some expansion fees to pay off, either pay out the NBA to get out of the business and get that 42% back, or try to get the money to the investors, which you don't want to, screw with the investors because you don't want to
ever screw the investors. So you got to really talk to the league, like, hey, listen, man.
So
let us get some of that percentage back.
So, me saying all this, I'm gonna ask you this: can this work? Because I feel like the system is kind of against them. And when they say that the league is not profitable, here's why. This is the reason why it's not profitable. They're only getting 42% of their money. What can be done to fix this? Because I think the issue is the players want more money, and owners we want to give you more money, but we also have to make some money in the back end too. Like, how do you fix this?
I just think first they all got to get on the same page. I think the players union and the owners need to get on the same page. That way they can present a case to the NBA or somebody else that, hey, listen, let us recoup some of this money and buy out your shares of the league. Because I think the direction the league is going, they could eventually do that. But I think now they might, want to start those talks with the NBA. But I think at first, at minimum, the players have to see where the owners are coming from, and the owners have to see where the players are coming from.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think that's the disconnect right now. And I feel like the anger from the player side is just.
It's
right?
just.
For every CBA, you want to see bigger and more improvement. You want in the money, the revenue split, any type of perks. Everyone, it gets better and better. Look at where the NBA was in the 80s. When their games were on tape delay at 11 o'clock at night on CBS. And now, they're getting like billions of dollars to go on NBC and Prime.
Yep.
We're seeing WNBA at the height of its popularity, but with that popularity, they're only getting a small fraction, less than half of what they should be getting.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if the players are willing to say, okay, if you meet us at this number, all is forgiven. But then the question is, what is that number? We don't really know. Because Adam Silver said, you're going to make more money, but the share thing is not on the table, really. He didn't say that, but it seemed like he wasn't ready to talk about share. He's talking about salaries and the actual numbers. But the share of the basketball-related income, he doesn't want anything to do with that. So I don't know. I think 30-day extension doesn't do anything for this. They might need more time to figure this all out.
I think it's definitely gonna. This is not better. What gets resolved first, the gambling or this? So I'm leaning towards the gambling. I'm leaning towards the gambling.
But once again, the WNBA get in bed with the gambling companies? Like, hey, we need some more money. Like you play in Vegas, like you get right there. You got automatic money right there because Mark Davis is probably all in the casinos with his bowl haircut, but gambling every fucking night. But
for sure,
I just don't know how. Once I saw that, I was like, that's the problem. That's the issue. So the issue is that the WNBA owners in the league doesn't want to pay the players. The issue is there's not enough money to pay them what they should get paid.
That 42% on a 91 doesn't sound like a lot when you look at the larger scale of things. So,
and then also deeper dive. I feel like Pablo Torre because I was just looking at this shit for hours last night. The problem is too, there's so many conflicts of interest because you have NBA owners who are kind of in bed, who own WNBA team too, and some of them are in bed with the investors. So they're double dipping. So you own an NBA team, so you own 42% of the league, has part of NBA. You own a team, so you're part of that 42% too. But then you also, your investment company is hooked up with, insert venture capitalist company here, and you're getting a piece of that. So there's so many different layers to this where it's like, I don't even know where to start. If you're negotiating, like, how the hell do you negotiate the CBA right now?
It's just a complex situation that's going to be going on for quite some time. I do expect the season to start late. So let's see what happens.
Listen, they have an expansion draft coming up. There's no date for that. They have a draft lottery, an expansion draft. There's a lot they have to do. And I think the expansion draft was supposed to be like December.
Oh,
so
that might get pushed back too.
If you push that back, you push back the draft lottery, then you push the draft back. Everything is pushed back, and the way the players are talking, they're down to say, "Fuck it, we're going home. I want to go home."
Well, don't forget that they still got the other league to that's private.
Yeah, they got Unrivaled.
So
they got
good.
Unrivaled. That money have rich people even more greedy. Yes, that's what it is. The NBA owners don't want to hear that they're going to give up 20% of the league and give it back to the league. Plus, they want to keep pushing the narrative that, we don't have any money because we're subsidizing the WNBA, like they're just giving them food stamps and EBT cards. Like that's kind of what's happening. Instead of realizing you have a property here where if you own 20%, 20% is nothing better than zero. Give them 20%. Yeah. At least make them whole where they can get half the money. At least give them, hey, we'll give you 8% back, so you be 50%, and you at least have the league have the bigger share of the revenue.
Seems like a simple fix.
But the majority share, I think the better word. So have them do 51% and be like, "This is your league. We're just here to help and facilitate and help market and do that stuff."
I thought that was the whole premise in the beginning of the foundation of the WNBA.
Well, but what made me think more was, okay, so before the 16% went to the investors, was that 60% with the NBA? So that meant the NBA owned 58% and the league, WNBA,
I believe that. 42? I believe that might have been what was the initial setup.
Which is even more crazy that the NBA, they own 58% of the league? And that number probably never went down. Ever.
Not even with teams dissolving like the Houston Comets and them.
Yeah. Or better way, do you think that number was higher?
It probably was higher.
And over years they gave a little bit back.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that.
I thought about that too.
65, 70, maybe that high.
I could see the NBA going 70-30 when it's all started 28, 29 years ago. I can see them going, we'll put in all of it. So once again, next Thursday night, probably more updates on this shit. A lot going on.
Hey, listen, man, nothing like new, fresh content. Keep it coming.
Listen, we took the first week off just to get our ducks in a row, and damn it, we came back at a great time. It was awesome. First week of NBA season, I have to ask you first, how was your NBA on NBC re-entry?
I felt the nostalgia. I definitely appreciate the intro round ball back. I even appreciated the malfunction with the mics at the beginning of the broadcast. I thought that was great.
Yes.
And the first game was amazing. Houston, that was a great game. It's running smoothly. I've yet to watch anything on Peacock yet. So
you know what's funny? I just got rid of Peacock like Monday.
Oh yeah,
because there's no more WWE PLEs on it.
You don't want to watch NXT?
Come on now. Come on. And even like the old, because I watched ECW and the older shows, but even that was always like background noise as I'm working. I wasn't paying attention to like, Judgment Day 2002. It was just on in the background as I was doing something. I'm like, do I really need this? And now I'm like, Apple has a deal where you can get Apple Premium and Peacock for $20 a month. And I was like, I was paying $18 for Peacock alone.
Oh,
and Apple just went up to like 15 a month. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
I'm about to get Peacock. But no, it was interesting to see. It was interesting to see it back at NBC. I will say I did find myself missing TNT a lot last week.
I only say I didn't miss it because they have Reggie over there, Iron Eagles on Prime, and we still got Inside the NBA, which they did not mess with that show at all, which I'm very thankful for. So other than that, I didn't miss Turner, but I didn't miss it in much because of those blows.
Yeah, I was afraid about Inside the NBA. I was very afraid because I was like, all right, ESPN's going to mess it up. And they kept saying, we're not going to touch it. We're not going to mess with it. But no. And I'm like, they let them go. Even
better. They did us all a favor because now we get less time with Stephen A. because he's not doing the pre-show. He's not doing that. I love the setup because it's a perfect insert. It's a perfect plug and play. Let them do your tip-off. Let them do it inside the NBA at the end. Now we don't got to hear Stephen A. Of course, I'm going to miss Will Bond on certain things, which I'm sure they're going to eventually bring him in.
Well, Inside the NBA, it's not going to be every week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which makes it
better. That's scary now. Now I'm a little scary now.
Because they said first two nights on ESPN, and I think they don't come back to like December.
To Christmas?
I think so. I want to say the schedule's light. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But like, all right, I got 2 nights.
Do we get them throughout the playoffs, including the finals?
Well, which they've
never done before.
Not even throughout. Every night. Remember, they were on every night. Remember, TNT used to push 40 games in 40 nights. Yeah. That was their thing. Do we get Inside the NBA every single night?
Don't forget, ESPN would probably only have 2 nights now, right?
What, Wednesday?
Friday?
Wednesday, because Prime is Friday. No, Prime is Thursday. Prime is Thursday. No,
Prime is Friday. Prime is
Friday. Who's Thursday? Who's Thursday then?
I think Thursday is.
No, NBC Thursday. No.
I think it might be Peacock because remember, and they're scared to go up against the NFL. So it'll probably switch up after the football season. But yeah.
See, already we don't know what days shit's on.
No, I mean there was a whole. Yeah, I mean,
but already we're like,
the cup starts tomorrow on Prime. Looking forward to that. Come on, it's a great thing for the Houston Rockets too. I think the Houston Rockets are going to win that cup.
Listen. Linda, listen. Linda. The WNBA, the Commissioner Cup, I love it. All right, it makes a little sense. Is a little sketchy.
Right.
This is even worse. I feel like they rushed to get this going. There were some flaws the first season. I think they tried to fix them, but it still wasn't good. I'm not going out of my way to care about the NBA Cup at this point. Still, I'm trying. I'm really trying. But like even playing NBA 2K, I skip those games because I don't give a shit. They don't really count. They don't count for anything. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, those teams that didn't make it to Vegas, you get a week off. So now I got a week off of basketball. I'm like, and then like, oh, and now we're gonna squeeze a bunch of games in this really condensed window to make those games up that you lost. So here, hey, Brooklyn, you gotta play 4 games in 5 nights. Like, wait, what? Because you want to do this bullshit tournament? Like, come on. That's my issue. It still makes no sense to me.
I don't think anybody remembered the Bucks won last year. I only remember the Lakers won in the first year because LeBron has to be LeBron and has to get everything. But I don't think anybody remembers that the Bucks won last year.
Wait, the Lakers put a banner up for that, didn't they?
They put a banner up at Staples for that. Unbelievable.
That's great. So, one of my good friends, just like us, big Knicks fan, and after the game, last night, he immediately said, "They're in trouble, man." I'm like, "What?" It's
4 games in.
4 games in. But if you go back and watch the game, it does seem like Mike Brown's trying to kind of go up tempo with the offense, make it move a lot. And it does seem that. Oh wait, I gotta put this up because my dad had to. I got rid of Peacock and forgot he was on the payroll. That's true. They're paid. I was giving him Peacock for free, and he tried to
put the
games on and realized Peacock don't work. I've never told I canceled it. Sorry, Dad. I think they want to go up tempo, and I think Cat does not.
He does not at all.
Cat does not look happy in the offense because I feel like Cat just wants to play that kind of like throw the ball down low, runs quick screen, step back. You run a pick and roll. Brunson drives to the basket. Everyone collapses on Brunson. Towns steps around the 3-point line and shoots. Whether he makes it, who knows? But does it seem like Karl-Anthony Towns is just not happy in his offense?
I think he admitted it from the press conference at a media day. I think it's a trial by error. I do think they will adjust his role in it a little bit, but he's got to come around too. Like some of the ticky-tack fouls he gets, I mean, he's got to get in his own way, and he's got to play like he's the second best big in the East. So that's on him as well.
Yeah, and I feel like I think Monica McNutt asked Brown a question. I think after their first loss, and was like, "What level do the guys are on in learning the offense, learning the reads?" And Mike Brown said, "We're on level 1," which I agree with. Exactly. I feel like you can't make a judgment on a team in the first 4 games of the season. Give me the first month. After a month, let's talk in November and go, okay, let's talk in December. In December, we will have more of a guide and more of samples of what the team is. Right now, we don't know what this team is yet. Right now, we don't know, Mitch is out. Playing. Josh Hart is hurting. He looks hurt. Yeah. He looks like his back is killing him. Mm-hmm. You want to see how some of these guys kind of run. Jordan Clarkson, Yabusele not playing their best basketball. I kind of want to see more before I sit and go, oh, they're great, or oh no, they're shit. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So the idea of gauging teams, like we want to talk about some teams now, they look great, but I'm like, it's 3 games in. Can't sit here and go, oh, that's a great team. Like
only one situation I can say I'm sold on that situation, and that's Philly. I think he was the steal of the draft. I think we saw that on draft night. Mm-hmm. I think we did say that on draft night. Him, and I just think now you can get rid of Paul George, and you could have internal discussions about this Embiid guy. Maybe we should ship him off a little bit. Maybe we should get out of his business as well.
Maybe it's time to get rid of Joel Embiid.
But I did look up real quick that Mike Brown, the successful year he had in Sacramento, they started out 0-4. Just put that out there.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because if you see the evolution of Mike Brown, he was not an offensive coach in Cleveland.
No.
And even with the Lakers, I thought the Lakers, he tried to kind of get more offensively minded. He went to Sacramento, brought like an offensive coordinator and said, hey, I'm the defensive guy. I need someone that can run the offense. Same thing with New York. So I feel like you're getting the best of both worlds with Mike Brown. You're getting the defensive mind, but then you're also getting the idea that I'm not good at offense. I'm going to bring someone in who knows what they're doing on offense. Right. Mike Brown also is willing to change what he's doing. We talked about how Tibbs refused to adapt, how he refused to change things up. If it didn't work, we're going to make it work. No, don't work that way. Mike Brown's willing. So if he's seeing something not working, you could bet your ass that the next game he's going to fix it and go, all right, let's pivot and go this way and not go that. Go right, not go left.
100%. Yep.
Right now, we got a couple games on right now. In the third quarter, Magic up by 10 on the Hornets. Thunder up by 8 on the Wizards. The end of first quarter, 34-25, Bucks on top of Golden State. And actually started in a few minutes. Spurs hosting the Heat. Bucks Warriors on NBA TV. NBA TV.
I forgot all about them now. How do they stand out?
Without Turner, it seems kind of low budget. It seems kind of like they're the association's like their nightly show, kind of like their MLB Tonight when they're in the studio. So it's cool. Like they're on couches and like chilling. It's like a basement lounge kind of feel. Okay. But then their post game show, they have like the recap show, like their Sports Center show. I was watching this morning going for work, and both guys are remote doing it, not in studio. Damn, I'm like, they don't have a studio.
I mean, when that Turner money dries up, that's what happens.
That's all my. As soon as I heard they were kind of getting out of the Turner system, I was like, I don't think that's gonna work. So once again.
They better go holler at Peacock and NBC and see if they can,
Hey, can we partner up? You guys have nice
come
fields
down,
in Connecticut.
come down to Rockefeller 30 Rock.
No, they're putting in Connecticut at their headquarters in Connecticut, where they put everyone else at. They put the soccer people there and everything at NBC. The other thing I want to talk about is OKC. And I think everyone's just like already they're going to repeat. It's OKC is good as they look right now. Obviously, I just said it's 4 games, but it does seem like they have a little extra pep in their step. Still young, but they got that ring. Like, we want more. It seems like they're hungry for a lot more.
I think they're poised to be the next dynasty. They have the core is young. They kind of remind me of the 96 Yankees. Whereas they got, I mean, that's what they remind me of. That core is so young and they all came up together. I think they know it's their time, it's their league. They put everybody on notice. We haven't had a repeat champ in a little bit. So I think their motivation is there. It's lined up for them.
So we talk about young teams, and I think the one team we have to discuss are the Chicago Bulls 4-0.
Fraudulent.
I was waiting for that. No, listen, they haven't had a tough schedule, but you look at their team, and it's literally Nikola Vucevic. You could put Josh Giddey in there, right?
Yeah,
and then just a bunch of people. I'm sorry, Kobe White is
Kobe White.
guy.
Yeah.
Kobe White is that guy that is on the team, but you forget is on the team.
Right.
You said it's fraudulent, so you don't think they can keep this up?
I think they're still a playing team.
You mean with Kevin Huerter? I forgot Kevin Huerter was here.
Kevin
Huerter, a superstar Kevin Huerter can't lead them to the promised land.
Listen, if the Knicks get smoked by them tomorrow, then I will admit the Knicks have problems.
It's funny, they played Sacramento, and after the game, he saw Zach LaVine like dapping everybody up, and Zach LaVine's like, "I should be here." You see in his face, like, "Damn, they're good now. Damn, I should have stayed. I should have requested that trade out of here so fast."
Maybe I was the problem.
Yeah, he was the fucking problem. The other team, Golden State, never seems to go away ever. 4-1. Is this what was going to happen? Is Golden State just going to be lingering for the next 2 years while Steph goes on his award tour and just try to get one more ring?
As long as everybody stays healthy, I think they just know how to play basketball. It's a very good veteran-led team. I think they're going to be in the top 4 conversation out west. But as long as they stay healthy, they're definitely going to be in championship contention.
Is Austin Reeves this good? Or is it just no one else is playing right now?
I think, again, 2 things could be true. I think he does seem a little bit intimidated. I don't know who brought it up, but someone brought it up the other day. He seems a little passive when he's playing with Bron, but if you give him a green light, a clear path, he'll do what he's been doing the last couple of games. So I think if they really wanted to move off of Austin, the Buss family would have. I don't think this new regime will. But I think if they wanted to trade and get another star player, they could have used him. But I think now they're going to stand pat. And I think they have a big 3 with him, Luka, and LeBron.
Golden State has a nice mix of youth experience. Listen, Kuminga's playing his ass off, considering that they probably didn't want Jonathan Kuminga at all.
I think that has a lot to do. I think that has a lot to do with Al Horford, a veteran big guy coming there talking to him. This is what I agree. That's a good mix of youth and experience.
Yeah, because I feel like you get someone like Horford. I think that was the only team that he wanted to go to. I think I read a story that he was like, "I want to go here." I'm like, and they were waiting to kind of figure out the Kuminga situation. But Horford's like, "I'm in. Just let me know when you fix that issue, and then we'll come in." Right. Bruce, Austin Reeves using this era of bad defense to
Shit, that's a good hot take.
That is.
That's a good take.
Butler's mentoring Kuminga. I don't know how I feel about that one. maybe not the guy you want mentoring a player on your team.
As long as they're not playing cards on the plane.
So I'm on NBA.com, kind of clicking around, looking at stuff for us, and I come across under the fantasy tab, going back to our first topic, authorized gaming partners and operators. So they're official, the NBA's official gaming partners, DraftKings, FanDuel. They're authorized gaming Bally, Bet MGM, Bet 365, Bet Rivers, Caesar Sportsbook as my dog barks, ESPN Bet, Fanatic Sportsbook, Hard Rock Sportsbook, IGT, Intralot, The Score, and Underdog. So you can't sit here and go, woe is us.
Nope.
Gambling bad, when on your website you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different betting options for your fans to bet on games.
Hey, listen, man. Cash is king.
This is some crazy shit. Like, this is nuts. Like, I just came across this now, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." It just kept going. The list kept moving. So, oh wait, bet Prize Picks, good one, Bruce. Her Prize Picks is good. Former sponsor of Bomani Jones is the right time.
I haven't tried Prize Picks yet.
No, I do FanDuel, and we're talking about gambling. I'm like, I do this.
Might as well.
I did FanDuel, and I heard Fanatics gives you a lot of like rewards.
Really?
Yeah. And my buddy who gambles a lot to the point where they're like, "Hey, you want to come out and play golf with like Bryson DeChambeau?" I'm like, what? Cool. But
I'm afraid to get to that level. I'm afraid.
I'm pretty sure a wifey would kick you out at that level.
Pretty much.
I'm like, no,
I bet on some college football. I think I bet on Rutgers. I think they was losing by like 50, and I was like, they're not going to score. It's gonna be 50-0, and they scored a touchdown, and I lost.
Well, the worst is my nephew, who's in his 20s, with no disposable income, but has disposable income to bet. He's like, "Hey, I got a 12-team parlay. Can you look at it for me?" So now I'm like, "Okay, just make sure it's not baseball because I'm an employee of Major League Baseball. It's not baseball." All right, cool. I'll look at it. It's like Polish soccer. I'm like, "Is this where you are right now? You're betting a 12-leg parlay on Polish soccer.
That's not an entry-level player right there."
That's some degenerate shit. That's what that is. I'm like, big dog, just go bet on a highlight or some shit. I'd rather you bet on that than Polish soccer at this point in your life. So, oh God. So NBA Star, obviously, we're an NBA show every Thursday. We'll be back. College basketball preview. Now, if you have watched our show, you know that Jason and I do not give a shit about college basketball until about January.
Respectfully.
However, I went to Big East Media Day last week, and first of all, St. John's
have come a long way on Media Day. It appears.
Here's my issue with St. John's, and most of the teams that were there that day, because you kind of there, and obviously, I'm there for Seton Hall, I'm there for St. John's, I'm there for Villanova, the tri-state area local teams. But as you do more digging on the teams, every team's coming in with like at least 8 new players in a team. Seton Hall has 10 new players. St. John's has 10 new players, which is a product of the trade, the transfer portal and NIL, stuff like that.
And aren't they ranked like 6 in that nation?
Yeah. Can this system sustain? And I asked everybody. I asked, Kevin Willard. I asked Marquette's women's basketball coach about it. Can the system sustain having just this, not even a new starting lineup, but a new roster every single year, just churning out, hey, 10 guys leave, 10 guys come in, 8 guys leave, 8 guys. Can this kind of keep moving along like this?
It can, but I think it has to temper expectations for teams. Like, there's not enough time to build camaraderie or chemistry. So, but I do think this is the trajectory we're heading in college basketball. I mean, we see it a little bit more so in we don't see it nearly enough in college football. It may be 1 or 2 players, but college basketball, yeah, it seems like that's what it is. It's just a wheel, man. Just a wheel.
I got a text from a friend of mine who I work with. He says you need to give the Chicago Bulls more love, by the way.
Hey, we're not calling them the Brooklyn Nets. I'm just saying they're
I didn't even go there. You mentioned him. I've worked 3 of the 4 net games this year.
Oh my God! Hey, Michael Porter,
I've never seen a team with 18 point guards, and none of them are good. Not a one. Like, you draft 4 point guards and a point center, and they're all shitty. All of them. And the point center's not even playing. He's hurt.
Listen, man, if I'm the Nets, I'm letting Porter look good, let Clarkson look good, get some capital for them after the trade, before the trade deadline, and we're gonna try this thing again next year.
And Igor, I have a bone to pick because his name has what you call, has writers and Embroiled, the 2 dots above.
No.
So what happens with that symbol on top of his name, the two dots? If you put it into our Major League Baseball, because we do Yes Network work, if you put it into the Yes Network CMS, as is, the Embroiled there, it breaks the site. So the guy's name shuts the site down until we fix it. So not only did you draft a bunch of point guards, you drafted one whose name literally breaks yesnetwork.com. Just saying.
They gotta feel good knowing they're the second best team in their own building, and overall ranked third in terms of the city and professional basketball teams.
I mean, they were third when the Islanders was there, so you can put that there.
Good point.
So obviously, preseason polls don't mean nothing because I think we can attest that. Who cares? But it's interesting to see who starts the season out number one. Purdue is your number one ranked team in the country. It's Purdue, Houston, Florida, UConn. In the AP poll, St. John's is 5th. In the coaches poll, Duke is 5th. St. John's 6th. Duke, they got the Boozer twins. They're going to be good. Houston's always good. Houston needs to win now. I think Houston needs to win the national title. I think it's their time. What are your thoughts on UConn? Because I'm curious because Hurley was there at Big East Media Day. There's been conversation for the last couple of years about UConn possibly moving and leaving the Big East and moving to the Big 12 because their football program is kind of in the wilderness. They're independent football. They have a really shitty football program, but they're independent, and obviously we know college sports revolves around football. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Hurley? Because I think we're getting to that point where Hurley's burning out. And I don't think he's going to the NBA. I think he might just quit and say, I'm going home.
Really? You don't see him coaching somewhere else? I can see that. I can see him getting out of, especially if UConn goes to the Big 12. I can see him be like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm gonna take calls from other teams. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, but I feel like he's way too intense for an NBA. I think we've kind of established that he can't coach the NBA the way he coaches. He puts so much into it, and he said himself, like I drove myself crazy. I think that act is wearing thin because you saw it in the tournament last year when he's going off on the refs and going on. I think that act is wearing thin with everybody, and it's hard to keep players when you're like your coach is a fucking nut. Like you can't control him. So I just think he could be a detriment to UConn this season more than it
could be. This is a very interesting part for UConn because now we're 2 years removed from the championship. So now we want to see if it's a disconnect, especially as we see other teams in the Big East start, emerging as stronger contenders. So I guess definitely see where UConn might be losing that grip of being the beast to the East. I can definitely see that.
What do you? So who do you? Way too early to make this call. Sidebar. When did they start playing like legit exhibition games? Like Michigan plays St. John's at the Garden. Like Duke,
I think next week. Yeah.
No, it happened this week. It happened Monday.
Oh wow!
But obviously the game didn't count as an exhibition.
Right.
But when did like real exhibition games start? Like they're actually playing like legit games.
I'm surprised,
but they don't count. That's the weird part. It's
interesting.
Weird. So it's funny. What team you think could win it all?
Houston's up there. St. John's up there. I'm going to put Duke, and I'll probably put Purdue. I think they're the best team in their conference. So yeah, I think that's my bubble. Those are my could win it all teams right there.
I got Duke, I got to put Houston in there because Calvin Sampson. I got a soft spot for Calvin Sampson. That's my dude. I need to see more for St. John's. I think Zuby. Last name I can't remember off the top of my head. He's the Big East player of the season, player of the year preseason. I think when you bring in so many new players, I need to see more of St. John's. And their schedule, their first 8 games are crazy. Like, they're playing a tough early schedule. And Patino wanted that way. I think after that first 8-9 games, I think we'll figure out where they are. Because obviously, while you were talking, I was thinking St. John's. I'm like, I don't know about them.
Not yet.
Because there's so many players coming in. And that bothers me.
Well, I trust in the transfer portal, and I think Patino will definitely have them ready to go. I mean, we both think they're the clear-cut best team in the Big East, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think Patino with the transfer, and he said it during media day. They should get paid. I think transfer portal is good. I think you transfer once. I think you can't transfer. And Kevin Willard said the same thing. He's like, you go to 4 colleges in 4 years. Like, what's home? Like, which one's your home school? Where are you going to go to homecoming to? Like, I'm worried about these players not having a place to go back to, which I think is something no one ever really talks about.
That's a great thing because in college football, they don't give 2 shits.
No, but college basketball, you want to come back and do alumni days or come back for homecoming or come back for, you play 1 year at a school, they're not retiring your jersey. Unless you're Carmelo Anthony.
There you go.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant. Yeah, that's fine.
Damn, now you mentioned about the exhibition. I did see Cayenne play a couple. Yeah, you're right. So, absolutely right about the exhibition.
Like when did that start? It's cool. I enjoy it, but they're like playing like 2 ranked teams playing against each other. But I'm like, oh, it's just a preseason game. I'm like, what? Like, all right, cool. Jason, as always, good show, bro.
Likewise.
I got the comment. Watch your mouth. I'll leave with that one. Haven't been on the air for a while. And Bruce, the NBA and WNBA have agreed to a 30-day extension. So the deadline now is November 30th.
Okay.
So
everybody have to have fun trick-or-treating tomorrow, and we'll pick this up bright and early on November 3rd.
Listen, we will see. If they got a 30-day extension, maybe this is like, hey, we're at the 20. We're not at the goal line yet, but we're at the 20.
I can't believe 91-9. That's an insane wow.
9%. When the NBA I think the players actually get 51% in the NBA.
Really?
I think the players actually outdraw the owners in the NBA. The NFL, I think, is like 53-47 in favor of the owners. But NBA, the players get more.
I feel like there's a lot of pillow talking going on between Asia and Bam, by the way, too. Someone put that out there.
You think so?
just put that out there.
Just leave that out there as you leave now. Talk amongst yourselves now. So, as always, big things here. Armchairing every Wednesday night. I'm not sure if he knows me telling this. The newly married man, Bruce Morrow. He's not married. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Welcome to hell. So every Wednesday night here, Thursday nights every week. I know I have a couple of Christmas parties in December, so there'll be a couple of Thursdays that won't be. But Thursday nights here on the One Podcast Network. The show is still happening. The Resistance. I'm waiting on a couple things because some legal things. Someone told me I should get done before I do the show. So I'm like, good idea. So I'm working on that.
Do it before the government shutdown reopens.
Just wait for that to happen. And then obviously follow us on Twitter. I'm Kahlil and Thomas at Busy J. So hit us up there. I'm on Blue Sky, which no one's on, so I'm not going to put that up. So for Jason, I'm Kahlil. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kortner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.